Welcome to another episode of DC by Night. If you haven't figured it out, we usually bullshit for a little bit before we go on air. So
Yay!
the giggles are from that. Let's see. Today/tonight, we are starting off on the cairn, and we are going to let the players take it from there because I'm going to sit here and be quiet.
Fair enough. Well, Sierra, she begins to. She's just walking in from the cairn after a long day at work. She seems to still have those dark circles under her eyes. Looks a little bit tired, and as she walks towards probably where the food is, and probably tries to nap something.
There's always food cooking on the cairn for everybody's knowledge. It's like a constant thing.
She goes where the fish is, if there is fish.
Damn you.
Well, Blessed would be over by the fish. She's in her Hamid form. She's kind of like nosing the food. Like it looks really weird, but every once in a while, one of the other Garu, reach over and tap her on her shoulder, and she'll kind of, you know, shake herself off like she was startled and go back to acting like a human. But she's over there, and she gives Sierra a nod.
She looks over to you with her new plate of food. She seems to have like a little messenger's pouch to her side, and she nods over and she goes up to you and says, "Mind if I sit here?"
It's not my table.
She tilts around. She kind of has that nod of fair enough, and sits down across from you, and begins to. She sits down and she kind of puts a notebook filled with all sorts of notes and weird, I don't know. I'm not sure how how far Blessed has learned in terms of English, but probably a bunch of like weird slashes and colons and stuff like that, and some drawings and symbols as she opens it up and puts her food next to her notebook. Notebook? If I said notebook, I meant notebook. And she begins to eat.
She's eating. Glances over at you from time to time. Glances down at the book. Goes back to eating. Just kind of in a bit of a cycle, although it's not super regular.
She says, "So, how are you?"
She sniffs. I am all right, I suppose. I need to hunt.
Why do you need to hunt?
Because it is what my people do.
Or were you thinking about hunting?
I was going to ask the elders where around here is safe to hunt, and then I was just going to see what I could find.
Ah, she says. And she kind of little bit of scratches like the side of her forehead a little bit, and she then kind of looks into her notebook again, and sometimes as she's eating, like she puts like a dash and starts writing, scribbling words down. Seems to be thinking hard on something.
Meanwhile, in the forest. Curl, 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 curl. Because I'm assuming that Whisper is currently in crawling form. Pardon. Well, Whisper is probably in crawling form, going around the forest and nibbling any little scrunchy crunchies he can. Let's see here. When it comes to the meeting that Whisper had with the other Ananasi,
Yes.
how would they have reacted to his appearance? I mean, he did go in crawling form just to be a little bit more safe.
Well, to talk, they would have wanted you to be in a different form. Just easier.
Oh, I thought they would have been able to talk because they're all spiders. Oh.
Yeah, well, they prefer because it tends to creep the rest of the Karen out.
Oh, like a bunch of like a bunch of tarantulas walk up, a little long, daddy long legs walk up, and
Yeah.
Whispers
Yeah, a
type
little
walks up,
party
and
of
it's just.
spiders just kind of hanging out. Creeps people
That
out.
sounds adorable though, because it's just like they all just come up, they're big groups, and they do like a little. It's like gangs, so they just have their little. They do their little movements to communicate. And
And
then,
they did that weird, creepy thing that big spiders do when they like scratch down and get up and then like move their legs and.
yeah, or they just like they rub their bellies in the ground and just do like scratch, 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 scratch.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
Get all comfy.
but technically the spiders wouldn't actually be talking. They would, it's like the other animals. They don't really talk. Most of their communication is through various movements.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's about it, and it's just. And we're creeping Joey
That's
out. So.
Yeah, that's not good for arachnophobics.
Yeah, so yeah.
Whisper will go with the male form then.
So it's just easier. But yeah, I mean, it was a normal conversation. I mean, you introduce yourself. They introduce themselves. I haven't thought of names, so don't bother asking.
But when
Because
it comes
again,
to their
until you, I
behaviors,
didn't have any. So they're ranged. I mean, you can pretty much one end of the spectrum to the other.
mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
They're
So,
small.
oh, pardon.
I mean, but nobody was like, get the fuck out. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, well, because they'd have the entire rest of the Karen going, fuck you, they can stay more than you can.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So I would just
Yeah, I mean, so it was
whispers.
just basic conversation.
Oh, okay. So it would be boring very quickly. So Whisper would just say hello, listen, and then leave. Probably walking around the carom aimlessly just to see what happens. And then eventually heading back toward the campsite area or to the Alpha's area to go and ask some questions. But that'll take a while, so. What is the kitty doing?
All right. Well, she's sitting in her camp and she's been finishing up working on beading a necklace. And once she finishes doing that, she takes it and she walks down into camp to get some lunch or dinner, I guess, at this point. And,
What time zone is DC again?
East Coast,
East Coast.
Eastern Standard Time.
So if you walked into the lunch area, the dinner.
Yeah, it's
lunch,
dinner area. It's
yeah.
7-Eleven here, so it'd be the same time, DC.
So you'd see probably Sierra and Blessed kind of sitting across from each other. And any other guard would probably be there.
okay.
And she's like looking into a notebook and just like she has like her hand on her forehead and she seems to be thinking hard about something.
Well, Helena goes and gets whatever kind of meat type stuff there is to eat. And she goes and she sits down next to Sierra and she says, "Hey,
Oh, hey Helena. How's it going? You can see on the
it's
notebook.
good."
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's all I said. I
Oh,
just said
okay.
it's good.
So you can see on the notebook that there's like a bunch of some URLs, some like almost a drawing of some like brainstorm charts, and even just like just a bunch of other scribbles that he's like writing. She doesn't have the best, the cleanest handwriting you've ever seen.
Huh. Uh, Helena asks, "What are you working on there?"
Oh, I've been doing some brainstorming. I think I got a lead, or a couple, or at least some ideas of what's been going on with Mr. Worthington.
Oh, really?
It's just something small, but it should be enough to at least work from there. Hold on, guys.
It's cool.
What did
It
Helen say?
is.
What did Helena say?
I said that's cool.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about it later, and that bright that you had should come in handy.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Uh, hey, I made you a thing.
Hmm? She tilts her head.
And she takes out, it's a beaded necklace, and it's got like different colors of beads, like uh, mostly in the kind of like reds and oranges and browns, and it's kind of like there's like a star in the middle, and it kind of extends out from there, and with like chevron patterns going up the sides of the necklace.
Wow, she says, this is really nice.
Oh, thanks.
This is really for me?
Yeah,
Thank you. I feel bad that I didn't make you anything.
no, that's fine.
And
I just felt inspired to make you something cool, so
she smiles and says, "That's awesome, thanks." And she puts it on. Definitely, like her face brightens up definitely after that. And she has it on. And she kind of checks it and she goes, "This is cool. Perhaps I'll make you something."
Oh, well, that would be nice, but don't feel obligated.
She just smiles at that. She says, "Come sit. Let's eat together." And but I'm gonna close up this book. I've been way too obsessed about this. She closes the book and puts it away in her messenger bag that she has on her.
Oh, I know how that goes. I've been doing quite a bit of reading lately, too.
What about?
Oh, those books that I got from the store.
Ah, they've been helping you?
Um, I don't know. I think I might have learned a few things so far. They seem pretty accurate based on what I know.
So, alright. You two met, right? She points to Blessed, and, in between Blessed and Helena.
I don't think so.
Garu just shakes her head. No, we have not shared sense yet.
Helena,
Uh,
Blessed by Luna's touch, Blessed by Luna's touch, Helena.
Helena reaches her hand out, offers it for Blessed to shake.
She sniffs your hand, and after a moment, kind of glances back at the Garal, looks back to Helena, and offers her hand out for the cat to sniff.
She raises her eyebrow but sniffs your hand.
She nods in like a very satisfied way, and then just after she does that, she just goes back to eating her food. That's what I was looking for.
Hmm. She just kind of looks between you two. Maybe a little bit of a smirk is on her face, but it quickly goes away. She says, "What does she say?" I don't think she says anything. Actually, she just goes back and just kind of nods and maybe gets a little bit awkward, and she starts eating.
Yeah, Helena's gonna start eating too. She's kind of hungry. She only had breakfast and she's just been working on beating all day, so she kind of wants to eat something. Didn't really have the energy to go hunting this time.
What was that?
What the fuck?
But hmm.
Hello.
Oh, hey, Whisper.
Whisper starts moving from out of the forest and steps over some of the roots of a tree, almost skipping in step toward everybody.
How's
Hello.
hello?
Oh, it's you. Hello.
I do not know you. Whisper tilts his head.
Yes, you do. You saw me last night in the forest.
In the forest, in the forest. He taps his chin. I would remember such a face.
I think you may have seen her in another form, she says.
Whisper covers his mouth with his fingertips and then steps a bit closer and looks her in the eyes, then looks over at
Sierra.
Sierra. The kitty.
That's right.
Hello, kitty.
Hello. My name is Helena, by the way.
Helena. It is good to meet you, kitty Helena. Helena the kitty. Quite a beautiful cat at that.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. I mean, without your fur being so beautiful, it would have been hard to see you.
I suppose.
You maintain it quite well.
I try to. Cleanliness is important.
Oh, definitely, definitely. You are all. And he looks over the food and the scraps that are left over from it.
Yeah, Sierra's
Eating.
eating fish and some lettuce and greens. Carrots, maybe.
For those of you, is the chat recorded as well?
I don't think the chat isn't recorded.
I
The
will
chat
note
is not recorded.
No, the
for
chat
those
isn't.
viewing right now. For those viewing, my skin is literally crawling. WTF was just messaged by our beautiful, beautiful Joe.
A beautiful Joey.
Oh, oh, I'm glad it's crawling. No, I'm not. I'm not.
So what's
I will.
Joey? What's Blessed's reaction to Whisper over here?
Yeah.
She looks up, sniffs, grunts a very terse, like, quick hello, and goes back to eating her food.
Whisper is probably has squatted down a little bit to be more on everyone's level who's sitting, and he starts, you know, uh, shimmying over on his feet in order to get closer to Blessed, and just goes. He leans a little bit forward and goes, "Hi. What's your title?"
I think Sierra's looking between Helena and Blessed, and just like,
At the howl of
Oh,
warning, Blessed leaps up and just darts directly towards the howl of warning.
Yeah, that howl pretty much empties out the lunch area.
Oh, oh.
before that happened,
Go ahead,
Helena was
go
just grinning, watching this whole thing
yeah, I
between
think she was.
Whisper and Blessed. She was like, "This is amusing."
And and the wolf is now, or the woman is now gone, and she's running in Hispo now.
Okay.
Wow.
She just, as she's running,
I think Sierra's like, what just happened? Because she doesn't
I
know the
think
howls yet.
that. Well,
Well, she didn't
based
say
on
what's
how
happening.
she's running. Well, based on how she's running, I think we're supposed to go in the same direction.
Oh, uh, Sure.
Pardon, but I'm not the quickest. Could either of you help me?
You see a large cougar pass by you guys. The markings on the fur itself seem very familiar.
Oh, that's my cue to go.
And there's a whole party of people going behind that one.
Yeah.
Oh, another kid. Hmm?
That's right. He's the leader of the cairn.
Yeah.
Another kitty? The leader
Yes.
is a kitty. No wonder his luscious locks were so long and beautiful.
That makes
Such
sense.
beautiful
Yeah.
strands.
He's not laughing, but I am. Sorry.
I mean,
Um,
Whisper's a spider. He loves strands. So hair strands are one of them.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
But I guess Sierra will get up and have her messenger bag secure, and I guess she'll go out and see what all the fuss is about.
Blessed, since you were one of the first to arrive from the players, there's already a large contingent of people hanging around just watching. Nobody's made any moves. This figure is seen standing right on the edge.
Hmm.
That
He
guy.
seems unafraid and he's alone. That much you can tell by the fact that, most are just kind of standing and watching. And the large roar of Robert behind everyone gives the hint that he's coming. So they just wait.
Yeah. I'm gonna hop into feline form, I think it's called. And I'm gonna make my way over there. I'm just gonna drop a rage though, because I assume I got the rage back from the other night that I spent.
Yes.
Sarah's
Okay.
going to attempt to
Yeah.
shift to.
I don't have a very good stamina primal urge, so I'm just use rage usually.
Fair
This
enough.
is going to be funny. Sierra's going to attempt to shift into Ursus.
Oh shit.
And she does!
Yay!
Oh yeah, nice.
And she's like, again, like, she's like, huh, I did. Like, you could see on her, like, oh, I did it. Like with the way her head moves around.
As everyone does begin to approach where this massive gathering has now, come up, some kind of scatter back to their positions now that they only see a twin. Mainly because the cairn still has to be protected. But there are several still in. There are actually you see some in Krynos form, so there's a mix of creatures.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hey, these guys are the ones that protect this part of the this part of the cairn.
And I guess. Oh.
He's just standing there. This hooded figure is just standing there. He seems to be unbothered by even the Krynos form, and that should scare you.
Wow.
Well, out of character, that should scare you.
No, yeah, well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a
Out of
guy that
character,
knows.
But,
Yeah. From what you can tell, he doesn't look armed. He's wearing, like I said, what you see in the picture is basically his top. He's wearing black, jeans. You don't see any weapons. He's wearing black boots, but he seems to be making
I will.
no backward movement.
Whisper has actually, when everyone else went, Whisper transformed into Crawlerling, so I'm imagining Crawlerling from a Hamid form being more like the human body just falling into thousands of little spiders.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I pictured too.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that, he starts rushing after everyone else, but what he tries to do, depending, is try to get. Yeah, I mean, he's a Dex +5, so they're pretty damn fast. This is a pretty fast group of spiders. So he has a total of 9 actually. That's +6. So he has a Dex of 9. So he's getting there. But what I will note
Still further
is,
behind than everybody else.
yeah. But when he does get there, if he can get there before there's talking, he will try to send a little portion of himself, like maybe 1 or 2 of himself. From the no, 3 of himself. 1 from the north, 1 from behind the guy, 1 from the sides, and 1 on each side of the guy. And he's gonna try to have those spiders climb onto him and go under, like just test test to see if they immediately burn up or if they immediately die when touching
Perception
him.
and alertness to all the players.
Oh crap!
Wow, I like that. That's an interesting move. I
Yeah,
gotta
that
do
is
my
pretty wicked. I gotta give her credit for that one. That's ballsy
okay. Perception alertness, you said?
to everyone.
Uh,
I was about to make a perception check.
Wow. Did you
Oh,
see mine? Look at all
I
this.
got one.
god damn! We all
Oh,
failed.
hang on. Is there anything with scent?
No, the wind is not in your favor.
Damn. Because I could have gotten 5 successes there, or six
Yeah.
successes there.
Was the difficulty 6?
Difficulty standard 6.
Oh, thank God, I got 1. Dang,
Yeah.
blessed.
She's definitely sniffing around, but
You don't smell anything, but you do notice some of the Krynos werewolves have little red dots on their chests.
Blessed just growls at them. She just growls a quick warning in Garu to the Krynos wolves.
Oh, they haven't moved. They're just standing there because they're going to wait on orders from Robert.
No, but she's basically letting them know.
They seem to acknowledge. They're not taking their eyes off this guy.
Oh
Because
gosh.
he's a curiosity at this point.
Well,
Very few people can withstand the full delirium of a Krynos to werewolf.
unless it's not people.
Yeah, that's one of the other things. And unfortunately, with the wind blowing in his favor, you guys can't tell.
God damn.
You have to be closer than that, and nobody wants to get that close yet because they're not sure.
And I can't really smell.
Yeah.
Huh?
Blessed will actually keeping her eyes on the dude. She kind of growls to one of the other wolves. Are there any Thaurges nearby?
Quite a few kind of nod slightly. I mean, there are some in human form. Not everybody went in animal form.
She just whispers to them. Well, not really whispers, just kind of growls out. Do you have any wind spirits willing to do you a favor?
We can see. You hear one of them begin softly chanting, whispering under his breath.
Sarah's just kind of like looking left and right, up and down.
By the way, Whisper, as your little spiders approach, you see him actually move his foot enough to step on one.
Ow! That was me.
He doesn't. He moves it more as a warning to you.
And Whisper just
Or the spider.
lifts up like, the little spider that is there. That is Whisper. It just lifts up its front legs as if just saying, "I'm good. I'm good. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you," and just does a little dance.
Even at the angle you're at, you still can't see his face.
I sense magic. No, I can't.
Not
But
so much.
yeah, just very you can do that
There's plenty
with
ways to get around
costumes.
that.
Yeah.
There's a great mask that's fully black that gets you get around that.
Yeah. That's what I was about to
Mask of
say.
1,000 Faces, you can do something like that.
That too.
Oh gosh.
But we don't know that.
I come to see the leader. Robert steps forward in human form. Speak and tell your men they can put their weapons down, or this is going to get nasty quickly. Another perception alertness, sight-based, for those who are keeping an eye out all around. I specify that for words.
Yeah,
I
Sarah the
do
whole time's
have-
basically looking around. So that would be
I
plus
do
2 for
have.
her. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I'm
Roll
sorry,
whatever.
I interrupted you. And I have thousands of spiders that are all me, so I can do it. Most probably.
Well, at the mention of soldiers, Blessed is like looking for them.
2 successes.
6
I
successes.
will tell you. Holy Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Well, with 6 successes, I can't really say you don't see them. You see you can at least follow the line, and kind of make out briefly where they're at. I mean, they're far back in the trees. They're distance enough away where there'd be some dead Guru long before they got to them. Which means they're not stupid. But the other thing you see is several ravens flying above.
Did the ravens have the drop on the guys in the trees?
Where they're flying, yeah, from what you can gather, you could tell that if it comes down to it, they will. You're not sure all of them are shifters, though. That's the catch.
Right, they could just be birds.
Yeah, they could just be ravens. Or at least kin of some
Oh,
sort.
with me, I only see like maybe a shade of something, like a blurry.
Yeah, you kind of see. You could tell they're far enough off where it would not be good if an attack happened. There would be many dead Guru this night.
Kinda. Hmm.
I mean, you can see some of the Guru on the lines kind of a little itchy. Robert just kind of looks over and just kind of, puts his hands out, kind of calms everybody down, which really doesn't help. But oh,
She's
did
more
you
in the
think the
back.
snipers are the only ones I have? You're sadly mistaken. I didn't come to a cairn and not be prepared. And
The
don't
whisper.
worry, they're werewolves. They're silver bullets. Liquid. Silver.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Bitchin'.
Just looks at the werewolves. No, that gets him pissed off. Robert shakes his head. Keep it up and I won't be able to hold them back.
Blessed is actually giving. She's kind of trying calming as many of the other gurus she can.
not easy when he basically just said, said what he said. It's
make
very hard, but you're helping.
I will make
Every
it
little help.
for her basically just growling them down.
Yeah, I'm gonna shift back into breed form, and I'm gonna be like trying to tell people to like chill out. We're telling them that we're actually
I think
kind of
Sierra looks a
outnumbered
little bit
here.
anxious in her bear form. Like she's just kind of, she's in the back, but she's just kind of looking around and maybe looks, it's hard to tell from her body language as a bear.
What do you want? I'm curious to see how long it'll take before you guys actually enact on the message we gave. Robert narrows his eyes at that one. It's your choice. Just remember, even though you guys act like you don't care about the human population, can you imagine what would happen if a war started brewing? I don't think you guys want to see another Inquisition happen, do you? Except they'd be a little more high-tech this time. We have been here a long time. We've been threatened many times before, and we're still standing. We will not bow to the demand of some arrogant prick who thinks because he's got a little special forces team that they can scare us away so easily. Well, don't say I didn't give you the choice. We will meet again. Oh, I'm betting on it. Robert just moaned. And if I even think I'm being followed, I will kill anyone I see. He takes a few steps backwards, watching everyone, watching the little spider, turns around, and just walks away.
The whisper that was
So
behind him moves out of the way.
everybody just kind of looks at him, looks at Robert like, can we? He just shakes his head. No, something's definitely wrong about that. You notice the ravens start moving in a pattern. aka they're following the snipers, just to make sure they leave.
Mhm.
Kyra, send out some of your scouts. Only recon, no touching. The largest werewolf next to him, Krynos, just kind of nods. She looks to some, and you see them shift down into Lupus, and they're gone. The others shift down. A lot of anger on a lot of people's faces right now.
Blessed is actually going to shift down into Lupus. Let me check my dice pool, make sure I get it right. Damn.
I thought you don't need to roll to breed
That's
into.
right. She's breed form. I always forget that 'cause she's playing Hamid.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
She just shifts down to Lupus, and she's going to, once the dude is far enough away, she's going to kind of very slowly go out and test his scent. See if she can just see what she can get from his scent.
Roll it.
Roll a perception primal urge.
And here's gonna be what's gonna fuck with people. At least you, because you're gonna be the only one to smell it. It's human.
She'll actually drop back to where Robert is and report what she found. Alpha.
Yeah. I had a feeling, and that bothers me more than anything.
Sierra kind of walks back as everyone is, like at least some people are walking back as he's walking away, and walks, and she shifts down. She shifts up into her breed form. Going through the motions again, not smooth transition by most standards.
Robert's just shaking its head.
Oh. One of the little whispers comes up and just pats his foot with its tiny little leg.
Robert just smiles, being careful not to, like kick or injure the spider.
It climbs on top of his foot and settles down. Just like wiggles itself to settle on the shoe.
Well, he is moving, so it is a little complicated, but yeah, he did it. Robert
He'll start
seems
going up.
unfazed by it.
Whisper will crawl up all the way up to the shoulder. Then that would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, it doesn't
And
bother.
settle there. And there's like thousands of other ones following from behind because I can only go 100-foot radius before all the whispers go.
Yeah, gotcha. He looks at Blessed. We're definitely gonna have to figure something out. We need to get more intel on this guy.
Was that in regarding the note that was given?
He nods.
What? What's this?
We received a note saying that all kindred and all shifters are to evacuate DC under penalty of death if they do not.
Wow, not cool. Not cool.
No, it's not the first time we've gotten threats like that. Sure as that won't be the last. But coming to the cairn, that's ballsy.
Means they probably have more up their sleeve.
Means there are some questions I need to have a conversation with the spirits to hopefully answer.
Okay. Oh, while I'm here with you, I actually found some things out about Mr. Worthington. If you'd like to know.
Really? Come on, walk. Let's talk.
Sure.
Blessed, you're welcome to come. Whisper Associates, apparently you're coming with me too. Elena, come. Might as well. Y'all might as well come. I really gotta stop looking over there. You guys all walk back into the tent. Well, Sierra, you have the floor.
Well, I'll be honest, I didn't find too much, but the thing I did find might help us with some leads. it took a while to find anything. Mostly searching around, it was just stuff about charitability, and there didn't seem to be anything on this guy until I ran across an article from 3 years ago that his children have been kidnapped. And the weird thing was there was no mention of it anywhere except that one article. Nothing.
And you just by pure happenstance happen to run across it. Something tells me that there's someone that is leading you.
It's not necessarily by happenstance. It did take a long, long time to search through to even get it.
Oh, okay, well then. But it's weird that it's buried so far and that nobody else has seen it until now.
My thinking was that someone tried to affect the search results that it didn't pop up. It was on one of those, on an independent.
Makes sense.
And what I guess the questions that have been feeding in my mind is why has he been why would a rich guy like Mr. Worthington, who definitely has resources, wouldn't try and make it public that his children have been taken?
Well, that does pose quite a few good questions.
Not only that, but he's also been investing a lot of money in other companies. I believe. Hang on, she pulls out her notebook.
That's not unheard of. A lot of billionaires a lot of millionaires and billionaires tend to invest in other companies to try and make money, or eventually buy them out. Is usually what it's for.
I guess they're just two. I don't know. They're just two possibilities either.
Understandable. I mean, I'm not saying any thoughts are wrong. I'm just saying there could be many explanations. But what I have learned is sometimes the answer that seems the most obvious usually is. But there are times that can be wrong.
Yeah, I've definitely learned that. But to tell you, the companies he's been investing in was Precision Motors and Happy Time Toys. She looks in her notebook.
That's odd for a tech company to be investing in the toy company, but I mean, if he has kids, that might explain a little bit. The motor company, maybe they're going to go in partnership and maybe create some better motors. I mean,
and then for 3
I'm
years,
giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm playing, devil's advocate right now.
And there's also one more thing. For 3 years, he's been, it hasn't been anything like in terms of construction, like for his companies. It seems like to be personal projects. He's been having what is it here? She reads, Pierce Construction's been working on some stuff. I'm going to be doing more research on these companies, but how this all might link together. But he's been having like these personal projects done from these companies. Haven't really found anything yet, but that just seems strange to me. And that coincides with, his daughter's being kidnapped.
Here's the problem I have. To get the kind of information we're probably going to have to get, you may have to meet some people that I'm not sure how you're going to react with.
How would you think I would react?
You're probably going to have to meet some vampires.
I mean, I've met them before.
Little Whisper on the alpha shoulder lifts up one of its legs.
Yes, you have a question? Looking at the spider.
The little Whisper shakes itself and then skitters off of him. Actually, no, it does a little dive drop where it jumps off of him and uses a little strand to float down, and all the other Whispers that are outside and we're probably collecting around the tent crawl off, and Whisper ends up forming outside of the tent and opening the flap to go, I am perfectly able to go among the vampires, if that's a thing. I actually know one.
Well, no one's going anywhere alone, not even you.
Oh, I wouldn't be alone if I were with them. They have a thing going on with them as well, with not walking around alone, doing patrols together. So,
well,
I mean, I could take somebody.
I have a feeling that hooded gentleman that we just met with is probably behind both parties having issues.
Oh, of course. I'm not questioning that, sir. What I am then proposing is a team I mean, I know you were proposing that,
He,
and I
he looks
could
at the ones around
team
him.
with anyone.
I see a team right now. He smiles.
Sure.
Can we be Charlie's Angels?
No. Robert just rolled his eyes. Yeah, but I'm not Charlie. It'd have to be Robert's Angels, I guess.
I mean,
Agreed.
I have technically, when that whole note thing happened at the bookstore, I mean, I met some. They didn't seem all that bad, but I don't know.
Not all of them are, but as you get to the older ones, which are probably the ones you're going to have to go to, that's going to be where it's going to get iffy.
Yeah. Also,
Hey.
Oh. If who exactly are we going to among the vampires? Who do you wish for us to speak to most of all?
Preferably anyone in Clan Gangrel. They're the more easier of the group to associate with. They
I know
tend
the
to work
exact
well with
area.
us better.
by the way, Will, out of character,
Yes.
was his wife missing as well, or was it just the kids?
Why do you think you're missing?
Oh, and she also adds, oh yeah, and also his wife was missing as well, along with the
Okay.
children.
Kid's missing, your wife is missing, and other than an article that was buried apparently sometime between 3 years ago and now, there's been no mention of it. That is really bothersome.
Well,
I have
maybe
with
he
that,
killed off his wife and kids, and he didn't want anyone to realize it.
or he's being held hostage, or they're being
Maybe
held
he
hostage.
ate them.
Robert
Everyone
looks over.
I suppose he
What?
could have.
Let's hope he's not a cannibal.
The wolf just shakes her head. This is why Hamid learned from wolf.
Hmm? Wait, what? I couldn't hear what was said. Everything's breaking up.
She said this is why the Hamid need learn from wolf.
I'm not Hamid.
Well, she's also in. Blessed is in lupus form, unless otherwise stated. So, unless you know Guru speak, you wouldn't have understood her.
Yeah, Sierra was like, huh?
Oh.
That's why Robert just chuckled. he understood it. You don't want to know.
Ah, okay.
She basically said something to the effect of, "This is why humans should learn from wolves."
Uh, for a moment, but then breaks out of it with a, so, I know a bookstore that is actually smack dab in the middle of that territory that you're speaking of, the Gangrel territory.
Mm-hmm.
No, the perfect place. I got picked up from there yesterday.
I'm aware. Robert looks at you.
I think a number of us may be familiar with that bookstore.
That is a good place to start.
Arcane books.
Yes!
I wouldn't exactly start in the bookstore. If you're looking for the Gangrel themselves, you're going to have to do a little hunting.
Couldn't we at least ask the bookstore owner about
And
them?
considering it's still daylight, you're probably not going to see them.
Fair enough.
Wait till it gets a little darker, and then you can go.
It is open 24 hours. We could still go there and make our plan of attack and then issue it as soon as night comes, correct?
Wouldn't that be better off
That is
here
true.
to make that plan?
Well, there's still the planning of the streets itself. We can actually patrol the streets and come up with different areas where it would be safest and familiarize ourselves with a place that's more familiar to them. It helps give us an advantage, doesn't it?
Not too much of an advantage. Gangrel tend to know their territory quite well.
No.
It'd at least get you a little more on even footing.
Whisper grins.
And they usually know us pretty well, so they won't attack. We do have a uneasy peace treaty right now with them, so
So,
there will be no attack.
yeah, I heard there was a group of them that wanted to build an alliance with us.
The Gangrel, yeah, they're real pushing that, but the rest of the vampires aren't so eager with that idea because, well, they're old-ass bastard who need to get a life.
Oh.
Ah.
Unfortunately, with their
Hmm.
age comes a lot more arrogance and, closed-mindedness because, they're paranoid.
Right.
As vampires get older, the younger ones tend to become more interested in taking out the older ones. Very nasty
So why
giant
are
circle they get.
these gangrel different?
Is it because they're a gang?
No, it's more closer to the fact that within their blood runs the gypsy line, the nomads, the wanderers. Um, so they tend to associate with others better. Plus, the gangrel themselves, some of their powers give them the ability to turn into animal forms. You won't find many other of the other vampire clans that can do that.
Hmm.
They tend to prefer their animal forms a lot, so nothing's really been confirmed, but it is believed that when the gangrel are in their animal forms, they get more in touch with the animal, with that particular form. So, they become a little more wolf or a little more bad or a little more whatever the hell they decide to turn into.
Yeah, that's what I was told as well.
Huh.
Plus, they're more. They see the rest of their group as a little too closed to open to other things, and that's the issue.
Okay.
They realize that them putting themselves on an island is only going to decrease their numbers, and as as history and time has proven so far, the Gank were pretty accurate on that because the numbers for the kindred are dwindling.
Actually,
Well, at least for the Camarilla.
Actually, I did get, what do they call them? The sheriff? I did get her number.
If it's the female, she's a gangrel, so yeah, she would probably be the best one to contact. But
Yeah.
as I said, it's daytime, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's daytime. I don't think I would phone her then, but I think she mentioned if I had any inquiries to contact her, especially in regards to the whole Inquisitor? Is that what they called it? Inquisitors.
Inquisition, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then that sounds like a starting point. I'm sure she's probably going to point you in the direction where you might be able to work with, or maybe they might have some intel. They have some contacts with some other kindred who don't mind us, but in all fairness, we in that clan tend to keep distance just because, well, there's no explanation for it.
If
Hmm.
she does ask any questions, though, can I mention that that guy in the hood came to our barn, or should I leave that out?
For now, leave that out until you
Okay.
feel that it might absolutely be necessary to let them. Because that was just a direct threat to us alone, not exactly to the vampires. Even though the gang would probably want to help, there is a such thing as having too many people in. Hold on one second.
The alpha pulls out a phone and starts just no, not right now, not right now.
The Whispers is just kind of looking at the rest of you, and she kind of growls something at Sierra. It almost seems like she's trying to talk to her.
Looks towards Blessed, and she tilts her head.
The wolf shakes its head from side to side, really annoyed. And then let me just make sure.
We really should invest in some form of fetish to communicate beyond our natural way.
Well, I mean, if we became a pack, we might be linked together. That would. I don't know if there's any totems that would take such a mixture, or if our different breeds would allow it, but I'm certainly up for it.
She just huffs Menengal.
Sorry?
Meningwell. He is of my tribe. Totem.
Sorry about
Hold
that,
on.
visitor.
Woman. Group of acceptance. He
Uh,
may
yeah, I was gonna say, can I do an intelligence spirit lore to see if I recognize this?
For what? I missed out on
The
all of that. I
patchwork
was away
wolf.
from it.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be able to.
I think he
Okay.
was explaining it to you.
Yeah, but I want to see if I recognize it outside of that, like, if I also know what he's just talking about.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think it's something else.
Well, it could go under a cult, but it'd be real iffy on that one. I mean,
No,
Drew
that's
lore would be helpful.
no. I was gonna say that's spirit lore, straight up.
Yeah, I mean that it would be more in depth on spirit lore. You may know
That's what I
any
rolled.
lore about the generic.
But I botched, so I think it's some other
Oh,
thing. What it is?
oh yeah, you completely think something completely different.
You're like, really? What are you talking about? That doesn't make sense. That's not what I
That's
heard.
not what I remember, or not what I heard.
What is this?
Or she
Totem.
thinks it's like a monkey totem.
Right.
No, you think it's some kind of other wolf. I mean, obviously with the name. But yeah, you don't think it's what it actually is.
So she looks to Bless and says, "What is this totem?" Hang on. What is a totem? She says.
I'm gonna let the players
Totem is a
interact.
powerful spirit that leads a tribe or leads a pack or can lead our different Fira as well.
Huh. So it's so guides, I guess. Helps.
Sort of a guide, a little bit of a patron spirit, you could say.
Oh. Okay.
We would get certain blessings for having a totem. And potentially the ability to talk between ourselves.
I see.
Which could come in handy. And packs don't have to be permanent, but if we did form one, now it could be beneficial for researching these things. And we might end up working together in the future, so I don't know. It's just a thought.
Robert just knows. He's saying nothing. He's just letting you guys talk.
Would, whispers, tapping his bottom lip. I can still help even if not joining this pack.
We're going to need all the help we can get.
Then good! I'm going to give as much as I can.
Great. That's awesome.
We'll appreciate that. Yeah.
Creepy spider. Yay.
By the way,
Aww.
Robert, are there anything you
Creepy spider's got to have skills. I mean, creepy
Yeah, that's
skills.
true.
It's going to be perfect.
Robert,
Yeah,
are
spider
there
would
any
be real helpful. Go ahead.
are there any specific questions you'd like us to ask?
I'm going to leave it up to you to use your wits and intelligence to figure things out.
She nods. Just wanted to know if you wanted to know anything specifically.
No, I'm sure, once you guys start asking around and asking the right questions, the answers will come to you.
She nods.
Ooh. I know that the bookstore is open 24 hours, but I'd still like to go there. I personally will even go there myself. Well, I can't go myself, right? Oh.
I'd prefer nobody go alone.
Oh, even if I were my little bitty selves, hundreds of me?
As he already proved, that doesn't help you much. Considering, from what I've noticed, they all seem to have to stay close together.
What? 100 feet isn't too close. But I see your point.
No. If you go with the others, I'd recommend it.
He looks to the others and
If-
tries to give the best puppy eyes he can.
Well, at the very least, I'll go with you. I'd certainly like to visit the bookstore again.
I could do some extra.
Oh, that
Yay!
reminds me,
I could do
Robert.
some extra research there on the computers there. So
Yes, Elena.
Do I have permission to use some books from the bookstore that might teach me things more about spirits, by any chance?
You know. Yeah.
Okay.
As long as he's cool with it, I don't care. I understand
I
why.
might want to
why
enrich
you're
my
asking me, but-
knowledge.
I understand why you're asking me, but yeah, I don't have any problem with anybody on the cairn upgrading their knowledge.
Good.
she nods.
Thank you.
Not.
Also, do you just naturally have that? I really do. I'm curious. Is it something you do while in your other form? Or is it just your human form you're caring for it spectacularly? What is it that you do with your strands? They're so silky and smooth.
It takes a lot of work. A lot of it is genetics, but I do have some of the females like to brush my hair and keep it maintained, so I let them.
They do the best of jobs.
Yeah. Well, they do it for everyone. I mean,
Helena
May I
just
do it
smirks.
sometimes?
it's just. I don't mind if you want to brush my hair. Go right ahead. He looks a little curious at that, but
I would love to. When you
just
get
as
your
long as
hair
I'm not
brushed
busy.
by me, it'll be the most amazing, most luscious it has ever been. I assure you
I
of
think
that.
Sierra definitely has like an eyebrow raised at all of this. Like, huh?
Even Robert looks very confused, but he's pretty relaxed. I mean, the nausea are weird to begin with, so.
Mhm. Pardon, but one other question, just as a clarifier. May I do it while you sleep? It may
No.
take a bit for me to properly do so. Oh. Okay.
If I may interrupt,
See him
Blessed.
looking around kind of curiously.
Oh.
No, you guys can keep going. He's just looking.
She just says, Blessed, do you wish to come with us to the bookstore to organize things?
Come on. Come on. Please.
Joey, are you there?
That's the real question.
Oh.
He unmuted himself.
Joey?
I guess we've lost Joey?
Oh no, I
Joey?
think
No, he's
the
trying
mic
to
may not.
but
Yeah, the
yeah.
mic may not be working.
You may need to reload there, buddy, because we can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah.
Oh. He's one step ahead. Whisper's about to say something that might come off real creepy. No, not
Oh,
really.
great.
I mean,
Oh,
it's just the
goody.
usual for
Oh,
Whisper so
goody.
far.
Oh, Joey likes playing creepy characters. About time he gets a taste of his own medicine.
That's for sure.
Welcome back.
Joey.
Oh,
There you
There
go.
we go.
Hello.
Yay!
so she at Sierra says, I do not know. Humans do not react well to my people.
It's very hard to understand you, Joey. Say that one
Yeah,
more time.
it's, yeah.
Yeah, I was having difficulty too. That's right.
Damn it.
Well, I heard that.
Yeah.
Hang on.
It may just be the. I don't know.
She
There we
just
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yes?
Go ahead, Joey.
so her response was humans do not respond well to my people.
Oh,
Oh,
we
that's
respond
right.
well to your people.
Uh, can I mean, can't you? I have a pair of clothes. I could give that to you if you want to go in your Hamid form. But I understand you're more comfortable in uh, your wolf form.
She kind of rolls her eyes. She kind of rolls her eyes, like not really in an annoyed, just kind of almost teenager-like way. We
Like,
bring cheer.
whatever.
We hum cheer. She goes, humans are afraid of us. Rage. It scares them. That is why.
Well, you're not the only one with rage there, buddy. We're gonna have to do this anyway, though.
Worst case, couldn't you also help protect the perimeter in your Hamid form, and then if anything happens, you can swoop in and destroy anything that tries to attack us? It'd be good to have backup.
She nods. She nods. I can watch from the umbrella.
Perfect!
That actually sounds like not so bad of an idea.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So we head to the bookstore. I do some research, and we do some organizing, and then when night falls, we see if we can ask some questions.
Oh, reading the chat, just for those who are watching. Robert mentioning the uneasy truce between shifters and kindred is Blessed's warning of not killing vamps. So no killing of the kin-kin.
At least for now. I mean,
At
By the
least
way,
self-defense is a
earlier,
different situation.
Will,
Yes?
earlier when when Blessed was trying to growl down the other guard, did any of them look annoyed at her when she did that? Any of the other young ones?
Yeah. Well, the young ones not so much. The older ones seem to get pretty annoyed about it. Mainly because they had higher rank, but they also weren't going to say anything because Robert was also agreeing that they need to calm down. So I'm sorry, we never a woman balls up her fists and hits me like that. She goes.
Okay, if I was going to be speed down, the idea that
I'm not standing beside you.
we're going to get up.
A little bit robot-y, Joey.
She was going
Oh,
to see if she could beat up Clea for being uppity.
oh my gosh. Beat up? I got beat up. I got beat
Beat
up
up
out of that.
Cleaths for being uppity, is what Joey said. Beat up Cleaths for being uppity.
Oh.
But the Cleaths were not being uppity, so no beatdowns are gonna occur. Because
Fair
the
enough.
Cleaths were all
But
cowed by whatever. Not yet.
Well then. Should we be off? Do we have everything together? Do you need to get clothes?
Well, I pretty much came in with what I have here.
Hmm. Should we go shopping?
Raises an eyebrow.
Mainly for. I mean, we're going to a bookstore, and near that bookstore there are other shops and everything like that. We can buy things, and gives us an excuse to scope out the area we'd like to, say, meet up with the people that we'd be calling.
That's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys
They'll
can do
always
that while I do research at the bookstore.
Yes, and plus, it gives us a chance to, be less inconspicuous about it, considering they probably do have lookouts during the day. And a group of women, and Whisper looks down the makeup man, um, well, just walking around and looking at things, it's a little bit suspicious. Perhaps, taps his bottom lip. I'll have my things in order. I have to go and get something from. Actually, I think my current outfit works. Is everyone ready to go now, or do we want to wait an hour for some reason, or do we want to go in 30 minutes?
I
What's
mean,
the plan?
I can go now.
Got it. And he turns to the other two. Kitty,
I'm ready.
he looks to Blessed.
Who is a wolf again, apparently.
The wolf. The wolf just kind of nods and just kind of, does that full body shake.
Yay!
So,
So then,
Robert. Oh, go ahead.
how exactly are we getting there? I don't think any of us
Ah,
know how to drive, do we?
I know how to drive, and I was going to ask if we could borrow a vehicle, Robert.
Sure, go ahead. He goes, actually, and he reaches into his pocket, tosses his keys. Don't damage it.
I'll do my best not to damage it, that is.
And we may stop it here before
Yeah.
we.
Yeah,
I mean, we can end it where you guys are heading towards the cairn, heading towards the bookstore. Jesus, see now I got me in a pattern. By the way, Robert's vehicle is a Chevy Suburban.
A Chevy
Big,
Suburban, huh?
right?
Just gotta make a roll it before we.
So I hope somebody has drive.
Because
Yes.
she will
I
be
do.
I do.
Melinda does.
Awesome. As long as you got
Oh.
drive one, you can at least operate the vehicle. But the Suburban, at least the wolf can climb in the back and be fine. However, we'll have to change
Yay.
to
Probably Sierra has a pair of clothes in her messenger bag. She can just give it to her. I don't think running around in Zena unless she's pretending she's cosplaying.
DC, believe me, they would overlook a lot. Trust me. Hmm?
The wolf is in the Umbra. She will get from the Umbra.
You know the gauntlet on the Karen is 0, right? Like,
Yes.
so as long as you know what you're doing,
Umbra.
you're in the Umbra.
That's a good roll, though.
Yeah, that is a pretty decent roll. Alright, so we are going to leave it off at that point, and we can continue at another time.
Yay!
So, thank you players for playing, thank you watchers for watching, stay tuned, and
Bye.
more is coming.